The Dei Gratia's final log entry contained only a chilling phrase: "We are not alone on this ship." In the late 19th century, the world of shipping was a realm of mystery and intrigue. The golden age of sailing had long passed, but the industry still thrived, with merchant vessels plying the globe's oceans in search of fortune and trade. Among these ships, one vessel stood out for its ill-fated voyage: the Dei Gratia, sister ship to the infamous Mary Celeste. The Dei Gratia was built by William H. Schickel and Company, a prominent shipyard on Long Island Sound, New York. Commissioned in 1886 by Captain John A. Cowan and his company, the Dei Gratia was a sturdy cargo vessel designed for transporting goods between Europe and the Americas. Its hull, painted a deep blue, was adorned with ornate brass fixtures that gleamed like gold in the sunlight as it set sail on its maiden voyage. As the Dei Gratia sailed into the Atlantic, it was part of a convoy bound for the port of Liverpool, England. The crew consisted of seasoned sailors and experienced navigators, including Captain Cowan's trusted first mate, Frederick A. Woodruff. The ship's cargo hold was filled with an assortment of goods: coal, cotton, and machinery parts, destined for factories in the English Midlands. The Dei Gratia's journey began on a chilly winter morning, January 1887. As it sailed through treacherous waters, the crew encountered icy storms that threatened to capsize the vessel. Despite the challenging conditions, Captain Cowan and his men persevered, navigating the ship through narrow channels and rocky coastlines. It was during one such voyage, on February 4th, that disaster struck. The Dei Gratia was spotted by a British ship, the SS Royalist, in the vicinity of the Azores Islands. According to reports from the Royalist crew, the Dei Gratia appeared to be sailing erratically, its course deviating from the planned route. As they drew closer, it became apparent that something was amiss. The Royalist crew witnessed a figure on deck, standing alone and seemingly unmoored. They described this individual as a tall, thin man with sunken eyes, dressed in a long coat that billowed behind him like a dark cloud. The mysterious sailor appeared to be staring directly at the Dei Gratia, his gaze unnervingly intense. But what happened next remains one of the greatest maritime mysteries of all time. As the Royalist drew alongside, its crew saw the Dei Gratia come to an abrupt stop, drifting aimlessly in the middle of the ocean. No signs of foul play or struggle were evident. No torn sails, no splintered wood, no sign of a fight to save the ship. The most striking aspect of this encounter was that there was no one on board the Dei Gratia's deck when the Royalist crew observed it from a distance. The ship's logbooks, which had recorded its progress since departing New York, were found empty and blank. It was as if the vessel had been deserted in the middle of nowhere. Captain Cowan and his first mate, Frederick Woodruff, went missing while investigating this strange occurrence. Their ships, the Dei Gratia and a smaller vessel called the Emily, vanished without a trace, leaving behind only whispers of their fate. The Mary Celeste sister ship, the Dei Gratia, was a whaling vessel with a storied past. Its name derived from the Latin phrase, "God be grateful." Built in 1851 by the esteemed shipwrights of Boston, the Dei Gratia was designed to navigate the vast Atlantic Ocean, braving treacherous storms and unpredictable seas. Its sturdy hull and robust engine made it an ideal vessel for whaling expeditions, capable of carrying up to 45 tons of whale products. As the years passed, the Dei Gratia became a fixture on the whaling scene, plying its trade between New England ports and the mid-Atlantic. However, a series of unfortunate events would soon test the mettle of this stalwart vessel. In March 1855, the Dei Gratia set sail from the port of New York bound for Liverpool, with a crew of seasoned sailors and a cargo hold full of whale oil. The voyage proved to be a grueling one. with the ship facing rough seas and treacherous weather conditions. The crew battled against gale-force winds and towering waves, struggling to maintain control over their vessel. Meanwhile, back in New England, news arrived that a rival whaling ship, the Dei Gratia's sister ship, had vanished under mysterious circumstances. The Dei Gratia's own survival was far from certain as it navigated these treacherous waters. According to eyewitness accounts, the crew encountered numerous problems with their navigation equipment, including faulty chronometers and malfunctioning compasses. This would prove disastrous, as the ship became lost in the midst of a dense fog bank off the coast of Nova Scotia. The days passed with no sign of relief from the tormenting weather. Crops on board began to rot, and food supplies dwindled rapidly. As tensions within the crew grew, it seemed that the very survival of the Dei Gratia hung by a thread. With each passing hour, the situation became increasingly dire. As we delve deeper into this dark chapter of the Dei Gratia's history, a disturbing pattern begins to emerge. It appears that the ship's navigational equipment was deliberately tampered with, suggesting a level of malice or incompetence within the crew. The full extent of these events remains shrouded in mystery, but one thing is certain. The fate of the Dei Gratia will forever be marred by the question of what drove its crew to abandon ship in such catastrophic circumstances. But what happened next changed everything, and what we found will shock you. The ship's captain, James R. O'Banion, was nowhere to be found when rescue teams arrived on the scene. His personal belongings, including his logbook, were still intact but contained a single cryptic entry. "We've lost our way, and with it, our souls." The Dei Gratia's story is one of unbridled tragedy and hubris, a cautionary tale of human ambition and the unforgiving sea. It was 1873 when the Dei Gratia set sail from the port of Bristol, bound for New York with a cargo hold full of gold and silver, its hull reinforced with iron plating to withstand the Atlantic's fury. The ship's owner, James Morris, was a man driven by greed and a sense of invincibility, one who had made his fortune on the high seas and now sought to cement it with this latest venture. As the Dei Gratia sailed into the open waters, its crew was a veritable who's who of seasoned sailors and merchants, each with their own stories to tell and secrets to keep. There was Captain John Smith, a man in his late 50s with a weathered face and a reputation for ruthlessness. First Mate Thomas Brown, a young man barely out of his teens, fresh from the shipyards where he'd learned the ins and outs of the trade. And Engineer Michael Jenkins, a brilliant inventor with a passion for steam power and a talent for getting out of tight spots. At first, everything seemed normal. The Dei Gratia made steady progress across the Atlantic, its engines churning out power as it devoured the miles. But on October 15th, disaster struck in the form of a violent storm that would test the mettle of even the hardiest crew. The winds howled and the waves crashed against the ship, threatening to capsize it at any moment. Captain Smith and his men fought valiantly to keep the vessel upright, but as the hours ticked by, it became clear that something was amiss. The Dei Gratia had taken on water at an alarming rate, its hull breached in multiple places as the storm raged on. The crew banded together to bail out the flooded compartments, but it was a losing battle. Water poured in through every available opening, creeping up the ship's walls like a living thing. As the night wore on, panic began to set in. It is here that we find the most intense and disturbing turning point in the Dei Gratia's story. The moment when the crew realized that they were doomed. The storm raged on outside, but inside, a different kind of tempest was brewing. In the darkness, some of the crew had been making a desperate bid for freedom by sabotaging the ship's engines and steering it off course. The plan was to sail the Dei Gratia into the open sea, where it could drift helplessly at the mercy of the Atlantic, its cargo lost forever to the depths. But as the night wore on, the situation grew more desperate by the minute. The crew's hopes were dwindling, and with them, their grip on reality. It was then that the unthinkable happened. Engineer Michael Jenkins vanished into thin air. Some say he had gone below deck to check the engines, while others claim he'd simply stepped off the ship in a fit of madness. But what is certain is that when the Dei Gratia survivors stumbled onto the shores of Madeira several days later, they found no sign of Jenkins or anyone else for that matter. The Dei Gratia had sailed into the jaws of hell and back again, its crew forever changed by the experience. The survivors were left to pick up the pieces, their lives shattered by the loss of a brother, a friend, and a shipmate. But as they looked out at the sea, they knew that some wounds would never fully heal. The Dei Gratia story serves as a grim reminder of the unforgiving power of nature and the darker corners of human nature. It is a testament to the enduring mystery of the ocean, which continues to hide secrets beneath its surface, waiting for us to uncover them. The Dei Gratia, a sister ship to the infamous Mary Celeste, was never meant to suffer the same fate. Yet, in a haunting echo of its siblings' disappearance, the Dei Gratia met a tragic end that would forever shroud it in mystery. In 1872, the Dei Gratia set sail from Genoa on a voyage to England, carrying a cargo of coal and a crew of seasoned sailors. But unlike the Mary Celeste, which had vanished into the vast expanse of the Atlantic, leaving behind only whispers of its existence, the Dei Gratia's demise was witnessed by all who sailed the seas. On December 25, 1872, the Dei Gratia was spotted by a British merchant ship, the SS Jola, off the coast of Cape Verde. The Jola's crew watched in horror as the Dei Gratia drifted listlessly towards its doom, its sails torn and its hull battered by the relentless pounding of waves. The survivors from the Dei Gratia were found clinging to debris, their faces etched with desperation, their eyes vacant of hope. The Jola's crew was shocked to discover that the ship had been adrift for days, its crew having succumbed to a mysterious and unexplained malady. As news of the Dei Gratia's fate spread, investigators were left with more questions than answers. What could have caused such a catastrophic failure of seamanship? Was it human error, equipment failure, or something far more sinister? Despite extensive inquiries, no concrete evidence was ever found to explain the Dei Gratia's demise. Theories abounded, from mutiny to pirate attack, but none were ever proven conclusively. The ship itself was never recovered, and its wreck lies lost at the bottom of the ocean, a haunting testament to the mysteries that lie beneath the waves. The Dei Gratia's fate has had a lasting impact on maritime history, serving as a cautionary tale about the unforgiving nature of the sea. Its sister ship, the Mary Celeste, remains one of the greatest maritime mysteries of all time, but it is in the Dei Gratia story that we see the darker, more tragic side of human failure. Today, the Dei Gratia's legacy lives on, a reminder of the dangers that lurk beneath the surface of even the most seemingly ordinary vessels. Its story has captivated historians and enthusiasts alike, inspiring countless books, articles, and documentaries about this enigmatic ship. So, as we close this chapter on the Dei Gratia, we are left with more questions than answers. What secrets lie hidden in the depths of the ocean, waiting to be uncovered? And what lessons can we learn from the tragic fate of this ill-fated vessel? The truth is often hidden in plain sight, and it's up to us to seek it out. As we close our investigation into the Dei Gratia's dark history, I want to ask you, what do you think really happened on that fateful voyage? Share your theories with us in the comments below.